Hello World with your girl Joy from Be the Difference Clothing. And I'm going to have to say that over again because that Hello World was really flat. I heard it. I felt it. It was no good. So welcome to Hello World. That was much better. How is everyone doing? I hope you had a great day. Today was a holiday. So I didn't even realize. But nonetheless, hey Wanda, you were off today, right, Wanda? Had to be. So I hope you had a beautiful day off. Hi, Cody, man. Welcome to Hello World. Nice to see you once again. So guys, let me check to see if I am buffering at all, because I can never tell. No, I'm not buffering, not at all. But I don't really appreciate the quality. What up, Eat Sleep? How are you? Hey, Corey. What's going on, Corey? Welcome to Hello World, guys. Go check out Corey, the activist. He is actually running for the Board of Education in Paterson, New Jersey. He wants to do a lot for the kids in the public schools for Paterson, New Jersey. So, guys, please tell someone that you know someone that you know another someone, that another someone knows another someone about Corey T, please. And if you want to get to know who he is, check the links down in my description and you can check out his Instagram. Corey, if you want, put your Instagram in there. Okay. Hey, my little tatted heart. Put your Instagram in there because you never know. People know everybody around the world. You never know. Somebody might link back to Paterson for you. So check it out. Corey, please do that if you can. And so my day, I actually took off today. What up, J-Dog? J-Dog in his house. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So today I actually took off, not because it was a holiday, but because two reasons. There was nothing going on at work. And the other reason was I've been working for 14 days straight. 14 days, literally. Every Saturday, Sunday for the last 2 weeks or so. Actually, I didn't work yesterday, Sunday, but the previous 2 Sundays I had been working. So that's pretty much why I took off today. And when I woke up like around 8, 9 o'clock. And all I did really was laundry. And then I didn't feel 100%. I think it's because my allergies were bothering me. So I took a nap and then I woke up again. I just came back from the gym. So, did my little normal. And it was pretty good. I can't complain. I'm trying to think why this cap didn't go crack. Because I certainly didn't drink out of it. Did I drink out of this? I didn't hear it go crack. Should I trust it and drink it in? Because it came out of one of those cases and the case was sealed. I don't know, guys. It didn't go crack. I didn't feel it go crack. Unless I already opened it. And I can't remember if I did. Hi, Maurice. How are you? Welcome to Hello World. Hi, Scorpion. Hi, how are you? Welcome to Hello World. It's nice to see you guys. Wait, what is my little tatted heart saying? Yes, move them hands. Oh, you said that already. Yeah. Please, guys, if you guys are new to the chat, make sure you welcome each other and be friendly, get to know each other. We're all content creators, whether you post something or not. I believe we are all creators in some shape or form. So we all have something to offer for YouTube and good things and all. You took a break? Really? Well, I'm glad you are back. How long was your break? I'm just going to drink this anyway because I don't remember if it went crack before or if I opened it, already took a sip. I don't remember. But if I die, you guys know what it's all about. So, guys, that was pretty much how my day went. And I absolutely have an amazing 2 guests coming on tonight. And I will tell you, remember the interview that told you guys about how it was just making me think, and all the questions that were there, it was making me think. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this was super deep and it was super good. It reminded me to go back to where I started when I started my journey of, understanding life, and actually not even just understanding life, but appreciating life. And I'm so glad that I was blessed and fortunate enough to meet BQ and Karev. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but they represent heritage hip hop. If you want to see the interview that they did for me, please go to my Everyday Happenings link or playlist, and you will see the interview there. Hey, Jenny B, what up, Flag Mag? How are you? So I am super excited to have them both here. I see Karev is here, and I am not going to delay it any longer because I think it's going to be a super deep conversation. And I want you guys to not only pay attention, but also to partake of what they have to offer. It's amazing. It's great information. And it's more than just about hip hop, guys. It's about life and how words connect and what we need to do with our words. So without further ado, hey, Beth Collins. I would like to introduce you guys to one of the founders of Heritage Hip Hop, Mr. Karev. How are you, sir?
How you doing? Peace. How you feel tonight?
How are you? I am good. I'm so honored to have you here with us. You have no
Thank
idea.
you.
So, what actually made you start Heritage Hip Hop?
That's a long story. To make it very short, when I was younger, I wanted to work for Ralph McDaniels on Video Music Box.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it never happened. And as I grew up, my love for hip hop and hip hop culture kept manifesting. I worked at a college that was basically going to close. And one day, one of the people said he's going to have a meeting where we could all start our businesses. What business would I want? And I had the idea from then. But what really made it go forward was the death of two great MCs from New Jersey, Govmatic and Big Snuff. When they died, I figured because New Jersey doesn't get the respect it gets as far as people talking about hip hop and our contributions to it, I wanted to make something that documents our history, our heroes, our superheroes, per se, you know? And I took it to my partner. I was frustrated that, I wanted some help. No one helped me. And he said, just come in the crib, man. We just sat down and got started. And ever since then, and went from there.
So, like, I know you like words. You like playing on words. You like to allow people to understand what words mean. And one thing about the interview that I enjoyed was you told me that I was a hero. And I was like, no, I'm not. And then please explain to everybody what a hero really means.
A hero is a manifestation of God's goodness on the earth for people to get better from by learning and being inspired. See, when God made the planet, it said his breath moved across the waters. The definition of his breath was inspiration. Through inspiration, all things can happen. So, as a person, you can actually save someone's life by your inspiration, by your breath. That's why everything you say and everything that you manifest in word or in writing that produces language or communication can save somebody. So you could be a hero by saying hello to somebody that could cause them not to kill themselves. You could say good morning to somebody and you can save their spirit and their day just by wishing them a good deed of positivity in the morning, in the beginning of the day. So those are very heroic things. Sometimes the monsters that we fight are not physical terror. It says in the Bible, the weapons of our warfare, the enemies of our warfare are spiritual, not physical. So words always have spirits to them. So if you give somebody a spiritual gift, you can save them from something that can hurt them later. So that does make you a hero.
Mm-hmm. You get that, guys? Are you listening? Hey, Octavia, nice to see you. We're talking now to one part of Heritage Hip Hop. If someone who is a mod can please go and find the link and drop it in the chat, please. And, just so everybody can kind of understand more deeply about who they are and what they represent. So did you ever want to be a rapper or?
Funny question. No,
Mhm.
I did rap though. I went to a church where every male in the church rapped. So that was part of. I did it because I wanted to be a brother, and brotherhood is okay. Y'all rapping, I'm gonna come into your life and rap with you. Because I've always loved hip hop, and if you love hip hop, you always try to do something. I can't draw, I can't make beats. I'm not a DJ. I can barely dance, barely. Paquito, paquito, paquito. So wordplay was very much more my thing. So I tried it, and eh,
And that's what happened.
eh. I can rap. I'm not a spitter. I could put words together, but I'm not somebody who's going to give you a 16 that's going to be like Nas or something. I'm better than most of the cats out today. They ain't doing nothing. So
Have
it
you
is
ever ghosted for anybody?
no.
You can't, you don't think you could?
Yep. But no. No, I'm not going to cheat myself. No.
Mhm.
It pays, but it's not for me. Because the reason why I wouldn't do that is because that's my spirit and my gift. And I don't want to give that away or sell it. You know, if God gives you a talent, why would you cheapen it? You feel me?
Mhm.
Like you have Be the Difference clothing, which is available everywhere. Everybody go get some. You have Be the Difference clothing. I don't think you would want to sell your clothing off to a manufacturer that would make it cheap or not really focus on the message that you're giving. So me, my raps weren't about the streets. I never killed anybody. I don't get high on drugs. Everything I rapped about was about me and my life and my faith, hardships I went through and go through. I rapped about the spirit of God because that's what I was at in my time of life. And I remember on one rap I did say, how can I talk about money when other people around me are suffering? Like that's not legit. I'm not going to talk about how I got all this money, but my people are just poor. So that kind of took me out of the mainstream limelight. I could never be that.
Mhm. So that brings you to like this point, right? So like I know you do a lot of interviews with people. Like what brought you to the point where you wanted to start interviewing? Because your heritage hip hop could be anything. Like it could go from one extreme to the next. Like what was the process? Was it always just interviews or did you start somewhere and then it eventually turned into interviewing?
That's a very interesting question. Heritage hip hop was primarily going to be a mall. I wanted to
Mhm.
make it a mall. So on my website, if you wanted to get an MC or a DJ
Oh,
or
that's
know about
cool.
this person, come to my website. But it turned into interviews because I am a psychology and sociology major. Shout
Mhm.
out to Rutgers University. You know what I'm saying? So me, I love to hear people's stories. And I believe everybody has the right to learn and the right to be taught. So while I'm learning about you, you're teaching the world your story through your example. So I always believe that hip hop is more than just what we're given. It's something that God has instilled within us. And so that spirit of God sometimes does not get taught. Like how many people know that there's rappers who get their deals and then go to college?
Hmm.
People don't know this. How many people know that for lack of better words, a lot of people dumb themselves down to sell rather than show their intelligence. See, these are the things in hip hop that people don't know. Because I have fights, verbal fights with people all the time. I don't want to hear hip hop because all you hear about is killing. I'm like, that's not true unless you just listen to the radio. There are
Mhm.
people out there that have insightful information and talk about life on a level where if you got to know them, you could understand why they make the music they make, or you get to learn something from someone who's a scholar that may be younger than you that can teach you something.
Mm. That's cool. So, like, are you primarily saying a lot of the underground rappers are never going to make it mainstream because of the content that they share?
The game has changed to the point where a lot of people are not going to make it because either A, they're not going to sell their soul,
Mm.
B, they don't know how to be successful, or C, a lot of people don't want to be successful. They want to be popular. So it depends on what their goal is.
So you said something about selling souls. Like, what's that supposed to mean?
Selling your soul is giving yourself over to a power that goes beyond you, where you don't even own yourself, your talent, or your name. You're a robot given the whim of a company behind you. Remember in the Jetsons how George Jetson only had to push that button? Mm-hmm. No matter how good he could do a job, or he was that one button. When you sell your soul, you're the button getting pushed, and you can't control what they want, because whenever they push that button, you have to do your job. That's what selling the soul is primarily.
So, like, do you think a lot of the artists now have sold their souls?
Yep. Yes, I do. Wow. Not all, but a large majority, yes.
Do you think they realized that they were doing that?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Here's a question for you. What do you think people fight for, liberty or freedom?
I think they don't fight for either.
Actually, they do. Because if people fight for what master is better than the last master, you're fighting for liberty. Most people don't understand what freedom is. They fight for liberty thinking that's freedom. Freedom is the ability to do whatever you want, period, by choice, free choice. Right. Liberty is being allowed to do something under somebody else's authority. So people who are fighting for liberty think it is freedom. Most people in the music industry are fighting for liberty. No one wants to be free. An independent artist is free, but unfortunately, it takes for somebody to get burnt out of the industry to turn independent. A lot of independent artists have a hard time because they don't know how to structure their money. They don't know how to spend correctly. They don't know how to market. They don't know how to brand, and that hurts them. Heritage Hip Hop teaches you, or any artist, about that. We teach you how to be free and not beat the industry, but be your own industry, because most artists don't understand. They support the industry thinking they're free, but they're not. They're at liberty to the industry.
Yeah, because I think I would have thought liberty was pretty much like, you're fighting for, like, USA. That's what I was thinking liberty was. And I certainly didn't think they were fighting for freedom. But BQ is here. I'm going to have him come in. Hey.
Hey, what's good, y'all?
All right.
How are you?
Hello, everybody. You know who this is. This BQ here. I had to come outside because there's too much going on in the house right now.
And it's a beautiful day anyway, so.
I'm glad to be here with y'all.
So
we're talking that good stuff.
Yeah, we got a little bit into his brain. And before we go deeper, I just want to say hi to Anna, GW, Octavia. I saw all you, Fladnat. I saw all of you, but I do want to, allow them to speak as well. So if you wouldn't mind, just keep on. If you have questions for them, please put question marks, and then question marks before your question and after. I will see that, and I'm going to ask them. But in the meantime, we're just learning that hip hop is not just about the mainstream that we've all been inundated with. It's more deep, and they know what they're talking about. So BQ, Fatty's place, please tell us, introduce us to you. Let us get to know you a little bit more.
All right. What's good, everybody? Like I said before, this is BQ, Fatty's place. Basically, I'm a virtual assistant promotion. Create your social media for you if you don't have a presence, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, you name it. Set up your YouTube page. We definitely create websites for you, to get you have your own, because you don't own the social medias, but you own your website. And we prefer that everyone whether you're doing music or whatever type of brand that you have your own website. I would rather purchase from your website instead of going to, Apple and Amazon, and, no disrespect to them, but do you have where can I find your music? They're like on this side and that side. It's not on your. We don't do it that. No disrespect. You can do it if you want to, but I'd rather you get 100% of the money, as my partner always says, instead of getting 78 cents off of the dollar or 60 something cents off of the dollar. And we do graphic design as well. Photo shoots and you know
They have a beautiful studio, guys. BQ, if you can back
we're
up a little bit,
wildfire marketing.
could you
It's the
back up a
team.
little bit because you're buffering a little? I think maybe that's what's going on.
All right, now don't let me do all the talking. I'm just leaving behind the camera.
Can you hear me? So his video might be a little buffering a little bit. So, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure he's still there. So what does it take for someone to be a part of Heritage Hip Hop? Like to do all of the things that you guys were just listing, like if we can build you into a brand, self-sufficient from others, that kind of thing.
Who would you like to answer that?
Both of you.
B, you want to go first?
Did you hear the question? Because he's buffering. I'm not sure if he's seeing everything real time.
Yeah, take the lead on that.
I'll start it. How do we take people to join Heritage Hip Hop, or how do we consult people in Heritage Hip Hop? Which one are you focusing on?
Oh, so I guess you consult.
Yeah, I consult as well.
Okay.
But we consult. Apologize. To be consulted on Heritage Hip Hop, all you gotta do is contact us and let us know what you want to be consulted on. My specialties are business vision, my business outlook, and partnership. Our partner Michael Bradley, who does transparent credit repair and transparent space. He consults and helps on business setup, which you want an LLC, an S corp, trademarking. He also repairs people's credit and teach them business literacy so they know their rights as an entity and a brand rather than being an artist. You got to know the difference between being an artist versus being a brand. You'll see that on the episode of Why Not. Why You coming soon. And BQ is a virtual assistant. So he helps people with their media presence and their websites. Our other partner, Fire Jaws, he runs wildfire marketing. So he teaches each person how to place and how to channel the right crowd. You have to know what's the difference between your clientele and your customer. If no one tells you anything, everybody watching tonight, I'm going to tell you. If you don't know the difference between a customer and your clientele, you're basically at a loss already. You're already in the red. More debt than you can realize. So that's how we consult. As far as somebody joining Heritage Hip Hop, we have other people who are outside of our main four who are part of the team. We give them their own shows. We give them the opportunity to blog. We give them the opportunity to bring their gifts. See, one thing we don't do, and I learned this a long time ago, I don't hire people for work. God gives you your work. A job only man can give you. I'd rather you use your talents for your work instead of having a job. Number one, I ain't going to pay you if I don't got the money. And two, if you want to do something from your joy, it's not going to be Heritage Hip Hop. It's going to be you by way of Heritage Hip Hop, because Heritage Hip Hop is not a one man thing. It's a network. And I believe in the socialness of society. So if Be the Difference per se had Be the Difference something, it would be the difference on Heritage Hip Hop, which means you own your brand. So if like one day, let's just say Tyler Perry came to you, Miss Joy, and said, you are the best thing I ever seen, I want to take you, it's your thing, go. You know what I'm saying? I don't own anybody. I'm not to be anybody's slave master or boss. I'm all about us building and building correctly.
Mm-hmm. What about you, BQ?
Well, as far as individuals reaching out to us, basically, we ask everybody just to listen, and understand and learn what it is that our message basically, because every time we'll sit down with someone and we'll ask them a few questions. They don't know their credit score, you know, they don't have a website, certain things like that. Like Karev said about some of the other business aspects of what they're actually worth. We've come across a lot of people that don't know that they can recoup their startup costs for their business. They've spent thousands of dollars, whether it be clothes, fashion, jewelry, transportation, whatever it is, to their musical equipment and studio time, but they don't know that they can recoup those assets that were spent. They have no idea. So when we sit down with them and we open their eyes, I mean, it's changing the world, because now all of a sudden, you have that knowledge that wasn't there before, that knowledge that we didn't have. I had no idea about half of this stuff. 75% of this stuff. Correct? Didn't have any idea about this stuff until someone taught us. So we want to teach everybody, because what was just happening in the industry with that 360 deal and everybody, you know, basically getting used. I'm gonna give you a car. Here's some liquor. Here's some loose women. Here's a couple of dollars. Here's a gold chain, and you're in a contract with with the devil. That should never have happened. But because the artists were uneducated, no one taught them, and there was so many people around, but nobody taught them. Few people knew, but not everybody. We're out here looking to stop that. Be your own boss. You might have to work for somebody for a little time, but educate yourself. As our other partner, Michael Bradley, says, he has a master's in YouTube and a bachelor's in Google's, or vice versa. Use it, utilize it, speak to your elders, consult with somebody, talk to somebody that knows something and has common sense. If I'm not talking to somebody like Karev, Michael Bradley, and Mr. Hobbs, I'm not talking to them, because we're not sitting there talking about going to the bar and smoking and who we sleeping with. We're not doing that. We're talking about building something great, and that's what we're in the process of doing.
Mhm. What do
So
you
we want.
guys what do you guys think is the fundamental problem with the music industry and the people that are in it? Speaking from the artist all the way up to management, all the way up to like the higher ups.
It's the lack of education, first and I'll say first and foremost, on the artist part. A lot of artists just have no idea. I've met so many artists that they just like to do their music. They like to go in the studio. They want to record. They want to hear their stuff out, and that's it. And they know a little bit, and they're following people. And some people are leading them. The blind leading the blind, or some people are leading them astray, taking advantage of them. If you have the ability to create some great music, that's greatness. Period. And you have something that they want. Without your music, is the club still bumping? Is everything, the commercials on TV and everything that hip hop in itself um brings and creates, because hip hop has been around the world a million times already and back to where it started from. Is everything as great without the music? I don't think so. I'm not saying that what the world would stop, but the music is everything. The producers are everything. The artists are everything. The engineers and the songwriters and everybody, that from the person that's holding the light in the music video, that's everything. The smallest person to the biggest person is everything. But when you're getting robbed, when you're getting taken advantage of, as if your craft isn't worth as much as the next man or the man with the money, no, you don't have to settle for that. You do not. But you have to educate yourself and understand. So we want people to go into the situation understanding, and as a brand, LLC or whatever other kind of legal license is needed, strong credit, 850, 700, 750, something like that. Um, Understanding business credit, understanding all of those things, owning your own website, knowing what Karev has to offer, knowing what Michael Bradley has to offer, Wildfire Marketing and myself. I mean, once you get that full understanding of all of that, now you're walking into a business deal or any kind of situation with your head held high and you feel good about yourself. And it doesn't matter what they say, they're not going to sit there and try and hustle you. Excuse me, you will not allow them to hustle you. They may try, but they won't even see you coming. And they'll try to give you some soft deal. And you're like, no, listen, we don't need a record deal. We can do a distribution deal. I'm owning my masters, this and that, whatever the case may be, and just be strong.
You think that people will get their music stolen if they deny whatever deal they give them or try to give you?
Well, they've been stealing music. Let's say, look at Elvis Presley. He was supposed to be the king, but he didn't write that music. Another man wrote that music, and another man played the cadence the way the song is supposed to sound, and he just copied it. And that was that. We knew that. They've been stealing, people have been stealing music for centuries. They've been stealing it. So they're not going to stop. But you have to make sure you get your paperwork right. Mm-hmm. Once you get your paperwork right, it will reduce the ability to steal it. But then again, things still happen, and you just let them go ahead and sign with it. Don't chase them down. Don't argue with them. Let them go ahead and sell, 10 million. Let them get 2 Grammys or, 2 platinum plaques and a couple of gold plaques. And then we come knocking on the door, 5 years later, 10 years later.
Here's my
excuse
paperwork.
me. Yeah, I need half of that. I'm going to take half of that. Give me 50, 35% of that. I don't care. I'm taking something because you own that. But you have to understand that you need that. SoundCloud rappers, we can go on SoundCloud and take anybody's music because 95% of them don't own that. They just put it up there. We could recreate it sounding the same way, same lyrics. What are they going to do? They don't have a copyright on it. It's only a few people that, that have it like that, but other people don't. They don't understand it. They're giving away free music.
Mm. What are your thoughts, Kaver?
If you don't know what hip hop is, you really can't control it because you don't know what kind of power you have. Joy, what's hip hop?
Hip hop is life.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm gonna ask you this: if hip hop is life, why are we so stuck on music? That's only one part. Is it the part that everybody sees the reward from the most? It's also the most dangerous part of hip hop because you give your life over to other people to control. That's not having the education and the authority to control what you make. Hip hop is art. Hip hop is clothing. Hip hop is music. Hip hop is fashion. It's in commercials. Hip hop is in your food. I mean, it sets the trend. Hip hop is also nothing but a door. So for everybody that raps and everybody that wants to make it big and tour, that's cool, but you only got to the door. It's until you go through that you find your breakthrough. Most people don't know that if you can write a rap, you can write a book.
Yes.
If you can rap in front of a crowd, you could be an auctioneer, a lecturer, or orator, a teacher.
Talk to him.
If you have written and you copywritten, you're published. Mm-hmm. I mean, those are the things that come with being in hip hop. Hip hop is just a name. It's culture. Hip hop is godly. But if we only focus on one thing, how does the other people who create art, visual art, eat? What happens to DJs? What happens to dancers? What happens to the community aspect? See, without the lack of vision and with lack of knowledge of the power that you have in your gift, this is why we have people who are able to control hip hop. People get mad at the radio. I'm not mad at the radio. I don't listen to the radio. The radio is a business. And to pay the bills, they get paid to play certain records. And people say we don't do pay to play. I beg to differ. The DJ may not get the money, but that station gets the money that pays the DJ. So everything's a business. Everything's a brand. Without the education element to teach every artist that you're a brand and how to walk that walk and talk that talk and believe in it, that's why hip hop is what it is. So the people who control it are the people who are educated and write the contracts, the people that establish the industry. But if you came in as your own industry, look at Master P. He was his own industry. Look at Sick With It. Look at Suave House and Tony Draper or Jay Prince. Those are people who actually bucked the trend and were their own industry as examples. Of course, there's others, but I mean, those are people who understood that hip hop is only one part. The music is only one part. There's other things that we can do. And as you see today now with T.I. and Killer Mike talking about real estate and gentrification and things, they understand that hip hop has a bigger responsibility, but it's not just the music. See, if you make music, that's the easiest thing in the world. There's nothing to do with music. If you think music is all it is, you forgot the second part of it, the music business. If you're not about the business of music, you're going to fail. Yes. You have to understand what that is.
Mm. And so you guys are just educating artists into knowing that. How can people, if there's anybody in the chat, because there's someone in here named Tim Windsor. He said that he said the music industry is brutal, as being in it for 27 years. He kind of retired. Promotion is getting very tough. Can you touch on promotions and how you can get maybe a brand new artist into well-known areas?
That's very easy. It's very easy. Find a niche market and saturate it. That's it. The radio's dead. Listen. What was it? Video killed the radio star.
Yep.
CDs killed tapes. MP3s killed CDs. And now phones are killing your pockets and killing the artist's revenue. So check this out. To promote is easy. Find a niche that you're good in. You know how Fetty Wap came out? Fetty Wap didn't go. He put out that song, Trap Queen. That song was like 3 or 4 years old. He went to the DJs. They wouldn't play it. So he found his niche market. He went to the strip clubs. It blew up in there.
Exactly.
He found it.
He shot that record. Excuse me. He shot that record for a year. A year at the strip clubs.
Years. Also, let me touch on this real fast because I think this is very important. Heritage hip hop teaches you about royalties and how to gain from your product. Everybody out there that does music, look me in the eye. Look me in the eye. If you put your music on Tidal, Spotify, Apple, etc., you're not getting your royalty. Spotify, Google, and all that, they're robbing you. So, Joy, if I said Heritage Hip Hop albums out right now, go to Spotify and Tidal, who did I market? My album or Spotify and Tidal?
Them.
So I marketed the middleman. So if you have music, that's not how you market or promote yourself. You have to find your niche market and then walk those walks and talk those talks. But here's the flip side that me and my partner's talking about. If you don't have a brand, or you don't know your credit score, or you don't know how to do the things that you need to do as a brand, you're not going to promote yourself. You're going to go into debt. But if you're a brand, an official business, an official brand at that, remember official, money, you spend money, but you can recoup money. Because everything people want in the music industry is what you can do yourself and don't need the big company to do. Because they pay for your company time. They pay for your studio time. They pay for your lunch. They pay for your meals. They pay for everything, right? They put that off on their taxes. Either you're a tax write-off or they give you a loan and you're paying them back. Mm-hmm. If you did your business the right way, you're writing it off against yourself. So you're paying yourself and you do your taxes. So to promote yourself is the easiest thing to do. Find a niche. Where does your music do marketing strategies? Where does your music hit? How do you get it there and flood it? If the right person dances to your music, wears an article of clothing with your music on it or something, people are going to package that thing together and they're going to want to come find you to do more. If not Fetty Wap, chicken noodle soup. What's that little girl name? Look, nice song. Had kids dancing. Kids was her niche, right? You know, Baby Shark, right?
Yes.
That's the biggest niche song of last year, right? To the point where Baby Shark is now the new percolator for all little kids 4 and under. You know what I'm saying? So you don't hear Baby Shark on the radio. No, you don't hear Baby Shark in the club sometimes. But all parents give their kids phones. If they make a Baby Shark video and they market it to a kids' channels and Baby Shark come on, it doesn't even have to be the same voices. When the child hears do do do, that right there tells them that's my song, and then you get your plays. It's just finding your niche, and going towards that with a design plan. Everybody remember this: a person that fails to plan plans to fail. So if you don't get your stuff right and have an idea and a strategy to go to where you want to go, it's not going to happen. At the beginning of this day, you in your mind said you were going to do something. Remember, it starts here. So you planned it and then you made it happen. All you have kids. You found somebody that you like. I'm going to meet that person. Guess what? You did. I'm going to talk to that person. Guess what? You did. It started here. But then you start making plans. You started formulating. You started making things happen. Most people just do stuff. Don't be busy. Be productive. Mm-hmm. And more parts of being productive is having a plan, finding what works, and then running with it. Believe me, if you're scared to fail, you'll never make it. So if it gets hard, that's cool. What's your next step? Because until you get your breakthrough, you're always just going to be there saying, it is this, it's that, it's that. Yeah, it's that. But what are you in comparison to that? Are you doing the same thing that's giving you the same result? Because that's insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting something different, but it's not happening. Don't make yourself insane. Make yourself productive. Go into why it is the way it is, and then beat it by finding what it is that you like.
So I know when we were talking, we talked about a lot of different things. So with the food, what do you guys think is going on with our food? You talked about the Popeye situation.
Ooh.
Shout out to crack. So they cooked Popeye's chicken sandwich in crack. If you haven't seen a guy in Texas, I think it was in Texas or Pennsylvania. I apologize, but I don't got my information right now. But they were dipping the meat in the batter, and the batter had cocaine in it. And they were seeing how people would react to the cocaine mixed in with the chicken flour. So everybody went crazy over the sandwich. They probably cracked out. So yeah, food is the number one thing that you can do to test anything on the people who are greedy. Folks are greedy out here. Let's just keep it real. There's only 3 gods that people admire in this life: the god of lust, because everybody wants something; the god of hunger, because everybody wants to eat. Everybody greedy. How many people fast? Not many. So, and the last god that people acknowledge is death, because we're around death all the time. Some people, I don't believe in God, but they believe in death. People do believe in hunger because they get hungry and feed in their need, and people are lustful because they want something somebody else has. So, as far as the food thing, somebody played on people's lust for food, and they marketed it greatly, because how many chicken sandwich there was chicken sandwich commercials? There's probably like two. It made $23 million, and then to keep the chicken sandwich,
23 million plus.
Okay. And then after 23 million plus, to keep the chicken sandwich in your mind, other brands started to make chicken sandwiches that made people go back to the original because it was sold out and they didn't want the other one. Ladies and gentlemen, that's called word of mouth marketing. Mm-hmm. So guess what? What they did is what you can do to be successful. Yeah. All you got to do is have a product, limit the quality, make it the best thing possible. Don't put no crack in it, though. And give the people a little bit of sample of what it is that you have. And if they come running back, make them wait a little bit, and then come back full swing. And that's what happened.
Now, mind you, that's $23 million plus in free advertisement. Shout out to Black Twitter. We got to give Black Twitter love because they really show how promotion is. I mean,
How strong it is. How powerful
yeah,
it is.
everybody, listen. HeritageHipHop.com, www.heritagehiphop.com, Heritage Hip Hop YouTube. Go ahead and share that. We need y'all to share that, everybody. We need $23 million in free advertisement. Make it happen.
Yes,
One
guys.
dollar, $1
Be
for
the
23 million people. Yes, please.
and excuse me,
She was
please do that. Excuse me, please do that for Be the Difference as well. We need $23 million in free advertisement for Be the Difference. Okay, please do that, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, YouTube is amazing because the only reason why I knew that Popeyes thing was a thing is because everybody was doing a review. Everybody was doing a review about the Popeyes thing. Everybody was doing mukbangs about it. I was just like, wow, this is like, okay, but I don't eat meat, so it didn't matter.
Shout out to you for saving your own life. That's what's up.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. That meat thing is no good.
That's a lesson. That's a lesson in the Bible that people never caught on to. That the death of the animal was supposed to make you realize that your life is more sacred. So that's why it was sacrificed to sin. But guess what? When Constantine and the Byzantine Empire came into play, you had to have meat in your diet. That was part of the Roman soldiers' regiment. Ain't that something? We're following the rules of Rome.
Did you know that? Did you know that? Where do you think? Where do you guys think the state of our words? Where do you think that's going? Yes, guys, I put your link in the up on the chat too.
Yeah, I see it. Where does our words are going?
The state of our words.
Funny that you say that, because, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody out there that has children, I'm a preschool teacher by trade. So shout out to the babies and the parents. If you don't talk to your children and you don't read to your children, you have failed your children in so many different levels of life that when they get to this age of adulthood and they're cursing and they can use only a certain amount of words to express themselves, it is your fault. Let me tell you why. The American standards of preschool education is what I can talk of, and I know a little bit about Common Core, which is New Jersey's curricula. Our curriculum sucks, and I'm gonna tell you this: when people don't have to learn cursive, and cursive was a very important part of your learning development and brain structure, that's a problem. We're going back to the hieroglyphic age. Everything's pictures, emojis, and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if we do not know how to eloquently have a conversation, that's where we fail not only ourselves, we fail our children, and we fail our future generations, because the history of our people, all people, comes from the spoken word. Daddy, granddaddy, tell me a story. And we had oral traditions. For example, Joy, what was the purpose of fairy tales?
To keep something going, like to like give a kid hope, something that they could, picture in their mind what it means.
Fairy tales were the way people taught their children the law. So Little Red Riding Hood was about cannibalism. Okay. The Three Little Pigs was about work ethic. You had to look at the Grimm fairy tales. Those words, those stories were teaching children about tradition, laws. They were teaching them about society. You see what I'm saying? Those were words. A lot of the things that we hear about in biblical history, things in the Quran, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, Taoism, all that, those things were oral stories that later somebody had to translate and write down. If we don't take our words serious, we're going to fail our future generations. I have a grandson. I love my grandson. You know what I'm saying? And what I do with him, I talk to him every time I'm with him, but I don't talk to him Google Gaga stuff like that. I would ask him, how are you doing today? What is your agenda for the day? What do you plan to do? What should we? How are you feeling? Good, happy, sad, melancholy? I'm euphoric. You will always introduce these words to get them thinking. The more wrinkles you make in your brain, the more active and the more proactive your brain can be. So in our world right now, we are getting to a point where people don't know how to use words. People are cursing to project a feeling rather than to explain a feeling. I'm one of those people. I'm gonna lie to you. I have a hard time with sometimes I have a hard time with expressing myself, talking things out, but that's something I have to learn. You see what I'm saying? And those social, emotional, cognitive, and language activities are things that we try to teach our best to teach children in preschool. Because if you're not cognitively ready to interact with people, which comes with expression, cognition, being able to talk and show your feelings, then we have those issues. A lot of the things that we got going on with words today is that people don't really know how to use their words or how to express themselves in a very social way. We're always on our phones. We're always using pictures. You know, instead of saying "I feel good," you have a muscle sign, right? Or they put the hands together for prayers, for thank you or something. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just saying thank you. That's part of like taking that good spirit away of touching somebody's soul. Mm-hmm. That's what our words are. Our words are falling apart because we're having less conversation, a more movie time or picture time, and that vanity is killing our ability for social cognition more than anything.
That's crazy. I agree.
One more thing, parents, stop babying your children. Please stop babying them. Because if baby can read, I'll say it again. If baby can read, why are some of these middle school students low educational level really low? Now, I remember back in the day, A in Orange was a C in Milburn. Unacceptable. The standard has risen now, and that's because some parents, some teachers and the parents fought for it to, the standards to be level. But just goes to show the playing field is not leveled. We have the highway. What is it? The high school to prison pipeline.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's what it's called. Because you get out of high school, your education isn't sharp enough, the level isn't high enough, and you wind up in the streets and go straight to prison. And we had a lot of individuals that came out of high school and went to college, and they had to take remedial courses in math and English because the standards that what they were taught was too low, and that was unacceptable.
Well, that's America's fault, because at the end of the day, there's no standard of education. How many boards of education do we have in the state of New Jersey alone? Now, how many curricula do we have? Now, how many types of schools do we have? Whether you have a Catholic school, a Christian school, a Muslim school, a Jewish school, a public school, a private school, a charter school, and they all may have to follow the same standards and guidelines, but they don't have all the same materials. They don't have the same equipment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the ultimate failure is that we don't understand America the business rather than America the country, and we don't understand education because unfortunately for most people in this country, not all, but for most, education is a choice and not a principle. And until it becomes principle and we all act like it's principle, we're all going to fail.
There's a question in the chat. Tactical Technician said, have you ever listened to the lyrics of Simon and Garfunkel's Sound of Silence?
Nope.
It's been a long time. I heard it. I really never paid it a lot of attention. I've heard it though. There's something in there though.
They said that it's referencing the age of cell phones in that song.
Well,
that was back then.
Guess what? We're here now, and we were just talking about that. Our technology is 10 years behind what's actually being experimented on. Because if you see it in the movies, it already exists.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Yeah. I remember back in high school when we were watching, I think it was the first movie Angelina Jolie was in. It was like something about technology, and it was either her or whichever other one. I can't remember the name, but they were like fighting the computer software programs, and they were taking over. So yeah, that age was back then. Like it was teaching us then what was happening already. That's crazy.
What's that like?
So now
Something.
think of all the movies that's coming out and what they're about. Have you noticed what all the movies are about recently? They're about population control. They're about technology. Think about this. Back in the day, you would have to leave. You could go from high school to getting a job at like a McDonald's or something. Oh, she cut off?
Yeah, it dropped for some reason. It dropped.
Let's see if we
I
still
don't
there.
know. Hopefully she'll come back on.
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button, but keep talking.
That's all right.
Back in the day, you can go after you got a high school, you needed a job or a high school job, you would go to McDonald's to go get a job, right? Mm-hmm. If you look at which is funny, if you look at Indeed.com, you need a bachelor's degree to do the cashier at McDonald's now. Because McDonald's is going complete kiosk. So you don't even like touch anything anymore. Some McDonald's, you don't even order your food. I don't eat McDonald's, by the way, but I know these things. But people are in there typing orders, and they're sending them to the back, and the people prep the burger, and then it's sent to the front, and you pay with your card.
You don't even talk to people anymore.
And some places don't. Some don't. No, you only talk to the drive-through.
That's crazy.
I believe that.
I was at Taco Bell.
Go ahead.
I was at Taco Bell, and it was kiosk versus somebody at the register. I was like, I'm not going to the kiosk. I'm going to the register. I need to hear myself think out the menu, what I want to order, even though I know exactly what I'm ordering. I just still want to talk to somebody.
Please stop eating at Taco Bell. We don't do that. Upset they brought one in our town. Please don't do that. But that's another story. I believe one of the movies you might have been talking about was Red Eye or something like that.
I think The Net. The name of it was The Net. I believe that was the name of it.
Oh yeah, that's an older one. Yes, that was good too, though. I mean, it's all about control.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna come a point in time where all of this, and we just gonna be sitting around and not able to do anything for ourselves. How many people right now know 10 numbers out of their phone?
Yeah, we were talking
10 numbers.
Too. I only know one or two.
Exactly. It's terrible, but it's the dumbing down of the people, especially the children. I remember one of my little ones was going to Head Start, and I asked them, how come you don't teach them the ABCs or anything? Teach them how to read. And they said, oh, we're not allowed to force their brains.
What?
Mind you, the two girls were there was only like 3 people in there that probably could read, and the 2 girls would bring a list in every day, and the teacher would ask the teacher to read just ask them how to spell certain words, and she said they told them jumble it up, don't do it in the same order, and they would do it every single day. I'd send a list with them. I taught them like, no, you need to learn. Listen, your child from the mama's womb, start talking to your child.
Yeah.
From the mother's womb, start talking to your child. Again, like Karev said, that Gaga Google is out. That's another language that you're wasting your time teaching your child. Talk to your child in articulate sentences. The bigger the family, the better. Keep the ratchet uncle in the ratchet. Those individuals. I'm just saying, keep them aside a little bit, because some families can influence the children in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And you might not even know it.
But as far
as that's right. And as far as if you have a big family, your child is going to be more articulate because they're going around talking to other individuals and they're learning more, even if they're quiet. Like the boys are quiet, but they're soaking up everything like a sponge. Here's a perfect story, real quick. Daughter went to Nia down north before she even turned 2. It was a Muslim school. She's in there, didn't speak for 3 months. I had no idea. Heritage Hip Hop,
There you go.
www.heritagehiphop.com. So she's in there not speaking for 3 months. Then one day I get a call. I need you to come in after school. I'm like, everything all right? They said, yeah. Do you know your daughter didn't speak for 3 months? I said, no. I said, wait a minute. How did you find out she can talk? I know. And I said, no. I said, no, I didn't know that. Little Miss Chatty? They said you call her Chatty? I said, yeah. They was changing the baby's diaper. The lady put it on wrong, and my daughter tapped her and said, "You're putting that on wrong." Pushed her to the side a little bit, stepped up on the step stool, put that baby up diaper on the right way, put powder on her, closed it up, picked the baby up, and tapped her on the on the back. And then the lady's mouth was on the ground. I'm sorry for rambling on y'all, but this is just so dear to my heart. The lady's mouth was on the ground. She took my daughter into the phonics teacher and told her that Shanice is very articulate and she can speak. He pulled out his phonics book. He gave her, he said all the words to her, and about 80% of the words, she knew how to spell them. He asked me, how does your daughter know how to spell hexagon?
He transforming.
Yeah, they don't want us to know what he's saying. That's why.
Yeah, he transforming.
No, but it is good information. Like, words are powerful. Like, what the takeaway I have so far is that words are powerful, and we need to focus back on the essence of human nature. And I did not know that they don't teach the ABCs anymore in preschool. Is that for real?
Not the way that we used to get it. We give them like a word wall where we have the ABCs on the wall. We have anchor charts, but we don't sit down by rule of the curriculum. This is an A, this is a B, this is a C. I do it in my class because I want the children to be advanced because I don't believe in holding them back. But if you look at the curriculum that we use for my job, it's not in the curriculum like go over letters today, go over this. It's more so have conversation, um, do large group writing where they can see you write to learn directionality, and then you could point those things out, but it's not structured towards it. No.
Jennifer Hayes, she's saying they teach it through play more.
Right. It's what, but it's not structured. That's play. That's not like
It doesn't seem serious.
No, no, it's all serious, but it's not like this is your lesson. Do this. It's like while you're in the midst of doing something with them, introduce it. Unless you're like it's called intentional teaching moments. If you don't have an intentional teaching moment towards the alphabet, then they won't get it. You see what I'm saying? And let me just say this: different districts, like I said, the different boards of education, different districts have different rules, and they can actually execute the curriculum in different ways. So, like I said, it's nothing across the board that's structured. It's like you get what you get when you get it.
My apologies, everybody. My signal had dropped.
That's okay.
But I'm back.
Finish what you were saying. I think you got cut off by the point where the school teacher was showing the phonics book to your daughter.
Okay. So the lady that was that my daughter was with, she took my daughter to the phonics teacher. The phonics teacher had a conversation with my daughter and showed the phonics book. My daughter was able to spell the majority of the words, and he couldn't believe that she was that intelligent at her age. So when I came in, he asked me who taught her, and I said I did. And he said, how did you teach her all of this? And in my back pocket were pieces of paper folded up, and all of these pieces of paper had a picture and a word written on there, and we did see it, spell it, say it as a game everywhere we went with anything that I could think of. anything that we seen. I just drew a picture and I wrote the word.
Mm,
She seen it, she spelled it, and she said it. It was a game. So education was a game to my daughter. It came so easy. Like she rarely studied anything. She see it and it's just imprinted in her brain, and she knows it. She could recite it to you, and that's why she went through school and scholarships and everything like it
nice.
was nothing. And
That's
that's, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I apologize for such a long-winded story, but the key to all of this is the earlier you teach your
wow.
child, the more you teach your child. Make it fun. Don't sit there and don't have them sitting there for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. No, they're bored. Make it a fun game. Laughing is allowed. Matter of fact, laughing is mandatory in this education process. And I guarantee you, you will come out 100% better.
What do you guys know anything about Common Core?
Yeah, that's more like the elementary school thing. Common Core is what the Board of Education uses for the higher grade. You could download the app on your phone.
Hmm.
This is something I tell the parents in my classroom: know your rights as parents. Ask about the curriculum so you know what's the expectations of your child through the standards. You could download the Common Core on your phone or your computer. You can see what the standards are for each level of education that your child is being graded on. Like like we don't use Common Core, we use another curriculum. And when I do curriculum night with the parents, I actually go through the curriculum itself so the parents understand what it is what we're doing. I always tell the parents, you're leaving your child in the hands of people who follow directives from people who are not in your classroom. So for you to understand the job and expectations, you should ask questions and be a part of your child's classroom. Children that have parents and teachers that get along and have a good relationship do better in school over 70 to 80% of the time because they see positive relationships. So part of me building that positive relationship with the parents, I tell them about the curriculum and give them their rights to understand what it is. So if anybody wants to know anything about any curriculum or curricula that their child goes through in school, ask the teacher, see if you can get what the standards are, and they should give it to you. It's not private information. It's public. You can go online and get this stuff and get it and look it over. Know what they want your child to know, and then and why did they change the math? What is this new math about? What is all of that? If you understand what the curriculum is, you'll have an idea what the expectations are.
Mm. Do you oh man, I was gonna ask something. Right out of my head. Oh, what do you guys think about homeschooling?
You got that man right there. See, it say it spell is homeschooling.
Exactly. Um, I believe it's great. Um, because you can control the environment, and which is very important. You can control what your child is learning. I feel one of the worst things that ever happened was desegregation, because we our children, well, our ancestors winding up being taught lies. There's a book, My Teacher Lied to Me, or something like that. Or there's a lot of other books like that where, once you read the book, you'll find out that a lot of stories that you read or were taught in school were lies. So you should be able to control that and have a stronger education. You can teach your child early. I mean, I've been to, elementary schools, kindergarten classes where the kids are just running around wild and they're not being taught anything. And it's like, why are these kids running around like this? This is the best time to teach them. I've seen strong teachers like Mr. Edward and a few friends of mine who actually have these kids sitting at attention, learning, understanding things, creating things, instead of you having them there doing anything. So at home school, you can have a better education,
Do you think
without
technology is
without
better?
all the,
Do you think that
excuse me.
do you think that okay, do you think that if more people decided to do homeschooling, eventually the state would mandate that something's wrong with that.
No. What I believe is that the state has its agenda, period, point blank. It
Hmm.
has its agenda. Certain children are not to be able to keep up with the standards of other children. Um, Bobby or Billy should be corporate managers, while Yusef or whoever else is going to be working here at the mall and working in the warehouse and doing this job. That was, the standard. And even though we're pushing the envelope to make the standards change, those standards are changing. But as we get the standards to change, they're still changing again when we don't even see it, by making the requirements for getting into college higher. The test scores, they're making them more, the test, excuse me, as far as taking the test, they're making it more difficult. They're doing little tiny things that some people aren't paying attention to make things more difficult. So no matter how much it changes, it's still going to stay the same. And what has to happen is that altogether, it's like, okay, listen, I'm not putting my child in this nonsense because it's rubbish. I mean, I feel I wasted my high school education. The whole time I feel I wasted it, because the 2 to 4 years I came out of high school, I learned so much because I like to read, I like to listen, I like to have conversations with people that know things. So I learned so much that I'm like, why did I waste my time?
So do you think that college is like a good route to go? I mean, I understand it's not for everybody. I believe college isn't for everybody. I have my personal beliefs about that, but like,
Yeah. College is a business.
mhm.
It's a business. It's a business that we all need to get into, because if you're making 40, 60, 80, 100, 200,000 a pop, I mean, why not all of us have colleges? You understand? So it's following the playbook. And a lot of people follow the playbook. This isn't our playbook. This was written for us. So if college is for you, fine, you go ahead to college. But I told my children that if they decided not to go to college, I wouldn't be mad, because then we had a plan B. Not that I, wanted them not to go to college, or well, it didn't matter to me. There was a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. Plan B, just go and get the meat and potatoes, the accounting skills, the business management skills, and certain particular, you know, tech classes or whatever, so that they can have some kind of foundation behind them and still do something great without spending all that time in college. So I mean, college, I don't recommend it, but it's a good thing though, because you get a chance to learn some things that you wouldn't learn out here. Well, no, you'd still learn them out here. It's just that you have to know what to look for, and you have to have the drive to go and look for these things. So it's a catch-22, but that's a business, and they're hustling big time.
Mm. So you think that we're pre-made or or they try to predestine us and pre-make us into different workers?
Yeah, of course, because see, okay, so what's happening, right? By following that playbook, the person that you were meant to be, that creative genius inside of you that the teacher tried to kill, those dream stealers, they tried to steal those dreams that you had, or whatever it is that you were going to do, and you end up becoming something else.
Mm.
And whether it's good or bad, you can have a nice family, a nice career, and that's fine. But what if you were destined for some other type of greatness, but because you followed that plan, you end up doing that?
Mm.
You never know, you won't, because everything changed now. Go to school, go to the daycare,
You'll always have
go to the
you'll
elementary,
always have
go to the
desire though.
elementary.
Something inside of you will always be like something's not right.
You have got to be kidding me, yo. Stop.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I am an advocate for college.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an advocate for college because I did not want to go to school when I got out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
For one, I didn't believe that I was smart enough to go to college. Two, I didn't think about I didn't know my power in the bigger structure of society. So I didn't have that type of positive thought of myself. It wasn't until I went to college and saw different people of different races, different ethnic. First of all, I don't believe in races. I'm sorry, different ethnic backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Until I got and met Filipinos and East Indians, West Indians. You know, the West Indies are more than just one place, and there were different types of Boricans and Spanish and Hispanic, Latin. That's what college taught me. I grew up in a different world era. So because of my upbringing and my behavior, I was not afforded to have a plan of education. So I just picked the school and just went there. But it was one of the best decisions I've ever made because I learned a lot. Now, debt is what makes college a problem. Hey, Joy, let me ask you a question. What is college?
College to me is a 4-year institution that will help you get what that was told it will help you get a good job.
Exactly. And guess what? That's not college. That's not even defined as college. Check this out. What me, you, and BQ were doing in the ancient world, that was called college.
Mm.
When people sat down and traded debates and discussions and philosophies, that was college. Because you were training your mind to think. How about this? In early America, all you had to do was graduate from 8th grade, and then you ran into the family business.
That's right.
Hint. Then people wanted more schooling, not education, schooling. So then you had to go to high school. Then guess what changed the country, Joy? Sex. And we had a baby boom generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a senator from Oklahoma said, there's too many children coming out of high school. We have to make another institution for them to babysit them. So we need a babysitter for these legal adults because we can't have them coming into our workplace and tearing it up. So college became mandatory.
Wow.
Bachelor's degree. Well, it gets better. People of color started going to college and getting degrees. So then they had to be X'd out, right? So because people of color were moderately more poorer financially, they made the master's degree the next thing, right? And here's the swing on it. There's nothing higher than a master's but a PhD, and that's for specialization. And not too many people do that, but you know, we didn't get there yet. You don't need a master's degree to work at McDonald's, thank God. But people from other countries started coming over here, and that's when the GED blew up. If you remember, not too long ago, they changed the GED test 3 times in 1 year. I would know because I taught a GED class for a college. The GED was considered too easy because too many immigrants were coming to the country, passing it and getting into college.
Wow.
So they changed it and made it harder and harder and harder to the point where states now had tests like NJAS and HESPA and things like that. They made the GED not the equivalent to a general education diploma. It was now below a high school diploma. So these diplomas and these papers were used to dictate your starting salary in a job.
Mm.
So the reason why I'm an advocate for college is college, we were taught the lie back in the day. You go to school to get a good job. Actually, you go to college to establish your bargaining point as a business person. Because we weren't told in school when you work at a job, you're selling your time. And that's why they pay you per hour. So they pay you by the rate of the time that you give them to work. Mm-hmm. Nobody taught us that stuff. So I believe that if you, whatever you can do to get the upper hand, to have a higher bargaining chip, do it. A friend of mine did not graduate from college. He went to go to do a program. They told him because he didn't have a bachelor's degree, he was stuck. He finished his bachelor's degree, and as soon as he got it, he made $13,000 to $20,000 more just because he had a bachelor's degree doing the same job. But it allowed him to go upward in his company, and he did so much more. Your diploma is your bargaining chip. If you're not going to go into business by yourself, or for yourself, I should say, and do everything on your own, you should have something that can help you and meet other people. If people could pay for vacations, put something into your intelligence. You don't have to sign up to be for a 4-year college, but take some college courses. Understand that there's more to life than the little bit that you've been shown or the lies that you've been taught in school.
That's a lot, and it's the truth. But do you think that knowing the truth is dangerous?
Of course, because of whatever truth that you know, if knowledge is power and people want you to be powerless, the more power you have, the more you're a threat. Look at Sam Cooke. What happened to him? Why is COINTELPRO out there? Think about that. How about this? How come we don't have access to the books in the Vatican? Why do they teach us when it comes to people of color in America? Why is the first thing we learn about slavery? We were here way before that.
To keep you enslaved.
Well, at the end of the day, slavery isn't just chains. Slavery is mental. A lot of us are still slaves and don't even know it. How about that?
I believe it.
I know it because I see it every day.
What do you think about Kanye West? I just saw it, like, I only just realized this today, like his spiritual journey. Do you think that's just him trying to get another way out with his music?
Yes and no. I will never, ever condemn a man for his spiritual journey, but I call bullshit when I see it. And I'm going to keep it real with you. A lot of the things that he partakes in are very anti the faith that he says he is. I can't question nobody's faith. I can just look at their moves. For instance, everybody watching, let's do some education right now. Kanye West's biggest argument is, why don't we support the Republicans when the Republican Party stopped slavery? That's his main thing, right? When you do American history, the Republican Party that stopped slavery became the Democratic Party. And the Republican Party went against the Whig Party. Where's the Whig Party today? What happened to them? Also, it's the Republican Party that's got the slaves freed, hint, hint, not really, but those people became those Republicans became the Democrats. What happened to that party that was against them? Because the names of the parties actually switched more than one time in American history. So you had the American Party, you had the Whig Party, you had Republicans, you had Democrats, you had the People's Party. Then what's the one that they just had with the Zionists? You had all these parties. Some of them phase out, and some of them fold into other parties. What happened to them? Good question, right? Mm-hmm. So before we start going off of people saying, well, this party did this, a lot of us have to do studying. And that's the problem with a lot of people. A lot of us are looking for gods and not looking for truth. We're looking for leaders to lead us and not looking at the fact that God told us to be our own leaders and learn and be study and be approved and know the truth and believe in facts and faith. You put your faith in truths. Instead, people put their faith in people, and people will fail you all the time. Mm-hmm. So as far as I feel about Kanye, God bless Kanye, and only the Most High can condemn him. I can judge his actions, and for what I see, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really look much, but I just saw on some social medias how he was getting on Kim for like the way she dresses and stuff. And
yeah, he should. That's his wife. Mm-hmm. I don't think any man wants his wife to look extra tasty. I'll put it that way. In public, anybody can look at her. I mean, if he's a Reformed Christian, in the Bible it says that a woman should be covered. As to not seduce the male mind, because men are made visually and women are made emotionally. So I mean, I can't get mad at him for that.
Hmm.
He put a ring on it, right? So whatever. She is his name in the street when he's not around, and he is her name in the street when she's not around. And you want everybody to respect you and your wife and your family because they have children. So you want to let your family have a good name. I'm not mad at him for that.
4 kids to be exact.
Shout out to sex and makes babies. That's what's up. I don't know what to say to that. I mean, hey.
So, I don't know. So, what else can you say about heritage hip hop?
A lot. Heritage hip hop is not just music. Heritage hip hop is the education of the culture upon itself and the bigger scheme of life that it represents. So when you go to Heritage Hip Hop's page, we talk about music, we talk about beats, but we also talk about comic books and comic book culture. That's an extension of Heritage Hip Hop called Blurred Hop. Blurred Hop shows how people of color are using their creative experiences and giving it to children in the medium, which shows superheroes. We highlight people like Andre Batts, who has a comedic superhero who got his powers from the Egyptian gods named Dreadlocks. You can check that out. We have Daryl Goza, who teaches children you can make money doing comic books. You don't have to go to Marvel and DC. You can do it yourself. Mm-hmm. So we highlight people like that. Shout out to them. Shout out to Bronx Heroes, which is a Latin guy. I forgot. I think he's Puerto Rican. Pardon me. I'm not sure. But he has a superhero comic book where Muhammad Ali is the world's only superhero. You know what I'm saying? And he teaches it from that point of view. Chocolate Nation Studios. They did a comic book based on God, Moses, the Dog Pound. They take hip hop and make them comic book characters. So we highlight that. We go to Comic Cons and things like that to show another side of hip hop besides music and beats. We show art. We show cosplay. We have different people who contribute as well. And also, if you come to Heritage Hip Hop, we offer our services to you to not just put you on video. We will market and promote you. Right now, we're actually behind the scenes working on a movie coming out.
Nice.
And we're giving people who have been on the show opportunities to be a part of the movie. So, Joy, we're going to have some of your shirts in the movie.
Yes, I will.
And we're going to have people go to the site. We're going to have people go to the site to buy stuff.
No questions asked. Of course, I support what you guys do. Tactical Technician said he doesn't agree with you about the Republican Party. He said the party switch is a lie. The only thing that changed was the Democratic Party went from small government to big government, and the Republicans went from big government to small. So that's his
opinion. So then once again, what happened to the People's Party? What happened to the Whig Party? What happened when the Fords and who was it? The Bilderbergs, the Fords, and all them had their meeting. even after that, I mean, it all goes with money. That person's right. But what happened to those parties and who switched and why did they switch? I mean, teach me something. But until we get to the point of why they switched and where those people went and why they had to change their names when they did it, I'm good, yo. But hey, I don't know everything. Teach me something. I'm not mad. Mm-hmm. I love to be wrong, because then I'll look at it. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Thank you for teaching me. If I'm right, then we both have some things to do.
Yeah, he or she said that they want to get in contact with you before. So I put your website up there. That's how you get in contact with them, Tactical. It's all about having open conversation and dialogue. There's no right or wrong answer to anybody's question. Everybody has an opinion, and we all can we can all be respectful and respect it. So
true, that's college. That was the purpose of college.
Right. So it's definitely good dialogue. You guys should continue that dialogue. But he said the Bilderbergs do still exist. they meet in secret. Ooh, y'all getting a little too deep for me. I just got the chills all up and down my spine when you said that.
Yeah. Well, to each his own. I'm good. Like when you get into that type of stuff, that's over people's heads sometimes because people don't really look into it.
Yeah.
But I'm good. Like there's certain conversations I don't have on camera, and that's not one of them. That I'm
Mm,
gonna have on camera.
yeah. So you definitely want to check with him on check with tactical, check with him on the website when you get a chance. But yes, I definitely will be a supporter of the movie for sure. I have no problems with that. Definitely will be in there because you guys, I believe, guys, in all fairness, I believe heritage hip hop is about something good and it's about excellence. And that's why I support you guys and I always will. And you
Yeah,
guys are a friend to be the difference. And, hopefully I'll continue to be considered a friend of you guys as well. But
of
like,
course.
I just, I like to learn. I like to understand things and to have my eyes open to things that, you know, I may have let lie dormant. So like I appreciate the fact that, our paths have crossed. And I hope that you guys in
Yeah.
the chat learned something too. A lot of dialogue was being spoken about education. One parent mentioned how they took their children out of public school and they're homeschooling because the teacher discouraged them to the point where they're, are very weak in a subject. So, I'm glad that we had that little discussion about that. But do you have any closing remarks?
I'll do some shameless plugs,
Yeah, please
and
do.
I'll let it go. You can follow me. I'm Karev. You can follow me on Heritage Hip Hop on all social media. We have heritagehiphop.com, Heritage Hip Hop YouTube, where the current interviews coming out right now are Miss Joy Be the Difference right there. We on part what 4 of your interview? We
Yeah.
have Otto Hayes, who's a trip hop artist. We have Dox Diggler, who's a hip hop artist that became a yogi, and he teaches meditation and he has rhymes about healing the body, but he also does street rhymes too. That's where he came from. He elevated, pardon me. And we also have an interview right now with Tretch of Naughty by Nature on Heritage Hip Hop as well. So we look to talk to everybody in hip hop, whether you own a business, you're an artist, or you're looking to start something. Everybody has a voice. Our platform is for everyone. So we have our interviews, we have a podcast that we do. You can find on YouTube as well, and we have our own TV show TV talk show called The Mic Council, which is not me interviewing. It's more like a panel of people like The View, and they just talk about a certain subject. The first one we did New Jersey hip hop history, as is Grumpy Old Man, Shot Cobain. Second interview we did Double O and Burt McGirt of Brothers of Destruction. 2 generations of MCs, because a lot of the younger MCs say the older MCs don't respect them. The older MCs say the younger ones are disrespectful. They don't respect them. So we wanted to bridge the gap a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The third conversation that we had on the Mic Council was the Black church has failed the Black community politically. And that was done with some artists who are like Christian rappers and people who talk about their faith. And we also have a person who was like an atheist who's like big into mental health and says because of mental health being his issue and the church failing him, he didn't want to go to God. So that was really deep. That was a really deep one. And the next episode coming out is the difference between classic music versus timeless music.
Mm-hmm.
So on the Mic Council, we take discussions. We're going to do one on Amber Geiger and police brutality and hip hop's responsibility to the world when it comes to these things. We're going to talk about DJs and we talk about world issues and everything. So the Mic Council is our television show or our YouTube show where you see a bunch of people on the mic and I'm not there. You never see me on mic on the camera. So, you could go to our website and on our music page, see music videos. You can see some of the artists that we're working with. We right now have a group, Out the Mud Music Group. We got them the #1 spot on a movie coming out called Amoya, where they have the #1 single, and this single is going to be played all over the world. to promote this movie. It is the main song for the trailer and the short film right now. So congratulations to them. We support web series. Watch Loyalty and Betrayal. That's our peoples right there. Please watch Loyalty and Betrayal. Shout out to SL. That's my man, Mr. Lane. Shout out to April Muhammad. You know what I mean? And the Cash. We support Mayhem. We support Turmoil. We support everybody that's doing something to represent New Jersey the right way. And more importantly, we represent you because you are hip hop, whether you rap or you're a 9-to-5 person that go to work that wants the betterment for a life for themselves and their children or for the community. So Heritage Hip Hop represents you. We are more than music. We are the premium stock for hip hop in New Jersey. There's nothing like Heritage Hip Hop. And that's who we are. So thank you for having me and my partner on. He must have stomped on a raccoon and disappeared. I don't know what he's doing. It's dark down the street. He lives down the street from me. On the same block.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he did his thing, and I appreciate. Shout out to Fatty's Place. You can go check out Fatty's Place if you need help with a website, your social media. He's a virtual assistant. Michael Bradley's our other partner. Transparent Credit Repair. Repair your credit. Learn your rights as an artist. For instance, I always tell the artist this: do you smoke weed? All of them say yes. I'm like, did you know you could claim weed on your taxes? In another way, you can't say weed, but and you can get that money credited back to you by being an official brand. So know the difference between branding and being an artist. He helps you with credit repair and business setup. I can help you with business vision and all the things that we do and we tell people to do, we do ourselves. So we live out our message, and that's how you're coming to see us now, because if we were greedy and not believing in society, we would not come on Be the Difference, anything, hello world. We would be like, no, we don't want to talk to anybody, but that's not how you build. That's how you destroy. So we teach people how to build. That's what we're all about. Wildfire Marketing, our partner Fire Jaws, he teaches you how to find your niche market, and then how to put yourself in position to win. We're not about only marketing and promotion. We're about marketing, promotion, and placement. Because that's the last thing most people don't understand is how to place your stuff correctly. You can find us on all social media. We'll be on other people's broadcasts and shows and things, spreading the word about not only us, but the power of you and why you matter. And we out here. So become a member of heritagehiphop.com. Please go to Heritage Hip Hop YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Everybody that's on our show has their own playlist. So if you want to see Miss Joy and Be the Difference clothing on Heritage Hip Hop, go to our YouTube page right after this tonight. Yeah. Do it. Trust me, do it. And then you could go see her interview with us, and you can see what she's talking about with how we talk. Because our interviews are not about, so what's your favorite color? What do you like to eat? No. Our interviews are about, who are you? How was the world made better because of you? And then I don't ask the common questions. I vibe off the person. So it's not like it's more like a intellectual conversation more than the Breakfast Club or Hot 97. We're really going into the person and their art and their purpose rather than what they do and how they keep busy. You know? So thank you once again for having us on. We salute you highly. Thank you so much. And I love the conversation that we had, and I do plan to have you on the Mic Council more than once. I do. And I would love to see you lead a panel on something that we talk about.
Hey, like I said, I'm a supporter. So yeah, for sure. And, it's all about growth. Guys, I told you, they were amazing. And this is only scratching a little bit of the surface. You really have to go to heritagehiphop.com to see more about them. If you yourself are an artist, you don't even have to be an artist per se, but if you're trying to start a business and you need credit repair, you need any of those things that run into the realm of being in business, go check them out. You are beautiful. You are amazing. There is absolutely no mistake about you. Everything that has happened in your life up until this point, maybe you can change, or maybe you thought you could change, but now is the time to be the difference and make a difference, right?
True.
Because it's about us building each other up so we can reach the potentials that we never thought existed. Without you, without me, without the chat, there is no way we can actually grow. You know what I'm saying? You can grow, but is it going to be purposeful? That you'll never know. But the impact that you make in society will show your growth. Yes. So, guys, I hope the rest of your evening is as amazing as today. I hope you sleep so peaceful that when you wake up in the morning, you're fully refreshed to be the best version of yourself. No matter what you do, even if you feel like you've let yourself down, your family, whatever, that's okay. But do better. That's why we get to wake up in the morning. We get to do better. So take those opportunities to do better. Start planning your day out. And then you'll have more structure. So there's less of a chance of that curve of not being your better self because you're too busy trying to accomplish a goal that you set. So, my name is Joy from Be the Difference Clothing. I'm here on Hello World every single night between 7 and 9. That's the time we around start. If you ever want to get to know anything about heritage hip hop or any of the previous people that have been on Hello World, Our Lives Seen Through My Eyes, or just want to purchase any books or anything, check the links down below. Heritage Hip Hop's link will be in the description down below. Their YouTubes, their Instagrams, everything that they're doing will be down there. I will make sure that's up by tomorrow or by the end of the week. But again, my name is Joy, and this is Karev. I'm so glad you were here. And
Thank you.
we're signing out, and you have to say it with me, right? On another
Okay.
episode of
Hello, world.
There You Go. Hello,
Yes.
world. See you guys tomorrow.